Interior wall time. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm gonna go to my main level plan, and I'm gonna rotate this dude. Rotate that dude like that, so I don't get myself too screwed up. And then what you can see is, the way that we like to do dimensions for interior walls is that there's a string of them, usually, on the inside somewhere. So I'm gonna go in and kind of zoom in on these dimensions so I can get them, so I can read them. And then I'm going to start to draw some lines. Control F2, there's my line tool. And I might have to move and adjust my stairs after I do this too, but for now I'm just going to try to get the walls in the right place. You can see that there's a couple of beam lines there, and we'll get those in a minute. But I'm going to focus on these horizontal dimensions, see if I can get those right. So I'm going to start over here somewhere along the outside wall. Got that little wishbone. I'm going to come in 6 foot 2 3/4 inches, right? Then I'm just going to go straight up some random dimension. Then I'm going to come over 14 feet 0 1/4 inch. And then I'm going to come down, and I can stop this by double clicking. So I can just click and then click again, and that stops it. I'm going to come over here and scroll on over like that. And then I'm going to continue this line over 1 foot 9 inches. Then I'm going to go up some random amount over 2 foot 6 inches, and down over 2 foot 0 1/2 inch. I don't know what that half inch is about. That's really weird, but it's on the drawing, so we'll trust that it's correct. Over 4 feet, down and over 2 feet, up and over 1 foot 6, and I think that's it, right? It's the end of that dimension string. So there we go, there's that one. And then I'm going to do, whoops, come on, down baby, whoa, there we go. I'm going to get this little string of dimensions right here, this vertical string of dimensions. Just going to make sure I got that line. I just sort of control clicked it. So I'm going to go from here to here, right? You just want to watch those tick marks and make sure that's where I'm going from. So I go over 3.7, and then I go over 5.5 for that beam line, then 3.6, and then I presume that that's also 5.5, but it doesn't tell me. So I'm going to do 2.6 instead. 2.6. And I'm coming down and going over 2.8. 2.8. That's weird, but that's what it is. And then I'm just going to verify that's 2.10. It's 2.9.5, but I think the difference is that I did. I'm going to double click that to close it out. The difference is that I did this as a 6-inch wall instead of a 5.5-inch wall, which is how I prefer to do it. It's that whole sheathing and other issue. So I'm just going to accept that as a difference. Presuming that's 5.5. Yeah, that is 5.5. So I'm going to call that good for now, and I'm going to see if I can't start to get some of these walls in here. So interior walls are 4-inch walls, right? So I'm going to go down here and pick up the interior wall. So you can see this is an exterior wall with windows. This is an interior wall with interior doors, so I'm going to pick that up. It should be 4 inches thick. There it is, 9 1/8 high. That's correct. And then I've got some walls. So the first wall I want to get is right here. That's at that 2.6 line. And that wall goes, where's that wall go to? It goes all the way over. Let's see, it's at that, where is it at? Yeah, it lines up there and goes all the way to that 2 foot sort of line. I'm going to get rid of this. This is confusing me. Just frightens me. Okay, it looks like it goes right to there, right? Which hopefully ended up aligning with this looks like it's maybe off a half an inch. Oh, looks like I'm on. Okay. So that's that wall. Then there is a wall here, right? And that goes, this wall here goes something like that. Looks like this window's a little off. I'm gonna have to adjust that. And this wall, I'm not sure if I've got it extended right, so I'm just gonna click on it and hit this little guy right here, and this will let me extend. It's also up in the pet palette right there, the stretch. And that stretches to the other side of the beam line right here, right? So I'll go like that. And then, you know, this is a door that's inside of a wall, so I'm going to draw all of these as walls. And it looks like because they're using a 5.5-inch beam that they're doing this wall as a 5.5-inch wall. And I'm just going to do it that way, Mr. Oder, you and your 5.5-inch walls. And then I'm going to drag a copy of that wall. I'm going to do Control D and hit the, so I get that check mark, and align it to there. And then I'm going to pull this wall all the way back to right there, to that 2.6 mark right there. And then I'm going to take this guy, I'm going to do Control D and hit the Control and pull him out to there. And pull that up to there, like that. Yep, and these align, so, and I'll cut a hole, or I'll create the void in this wall eventually once I sort of place the stair and all that stuff. But we'll figure that out in a minute. Interesting, we don't have a dimension for that wall. Oh, we do, it's 8 feet, so they stuck it out here. Just so you know, this is something you should never do. You should never put interior wall dimensions outside the building and then other interior wall dimensions inside the building. These dimensions should be inside. The exterior dimensions should just dimension the window and door openings. So that's how I'm going to have you guys do this. Sorry, Eric, but you know, this is I'm going to school everybody on this. All right. So let's see. This wall is 6 feet over for some. So let's go from the wall we know we have placed, which is this wall, and it comes over 10.6. So I'm going to take this wall and I'm going to drag a copy 10.6 right face to face like that. And then again, something you don't want to do is dimension to two different sides of walls. You always want to dimension to the, if you're dimensioning to the face of a wall like this, you want to dimension to the same face of the wall as you go all the way along. So these two are good, this one not so good. It might be that they were trying to control a dimension here, but it doesn't really look that way. It just looks like it's sort of not worked out very well. It also looks like they're sneaking a waste stack into this wall, so this wall would have to be a 6-inch wall as well. Any wall where you have some plumbing against it would need to be a 6-inch wall. So I'm gonna drag this 8-foot, oops, wrong window. Drag this, I'm gonna go ahead and drag it 8, well, let's see, 7'6", right? Because they went to the wrong side. So, and then I'm gonna make this a 6-inch wall. So now, if I go to my line, I draw a line from here to here, that should be 8 feet. Yep, so there's that. So I'm going to take these guys, pull them down. These two, I think I'm going to trim to each other. So I'm going to select both of these guys, and up here I'm going to use this guy, this little intersect tool, to just sort of yoink, put those together like that. That's that. And then there's this little 110, this little wall in here that's comes down 1 foot 10 inches. 110. I don't know what this dimension is. They're not giving it to me, but I'm going to presume that it's about, well, it's about the same as that rough opening. Let's call it 3'2". That might be dimensioned on an interior elevation somewhere or something, but we don't have those drawings. And here I've got to flip this, right, so I can get it on the right side. So that's those walls. And now it looks like I've got all of the interior walls on the main level, right? Got some cabinetry and some stuff to figure out, but I've got all my interior walls. So we're in good shape. One of the things I think that might be a little bit off. Well, no, it looks like we're on. Okay. So the other thing I want to do is I want to put these beams in here. These two, this beam and this beam. This one goes all the way across. This one just comes across to here where the stairs are. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm going to use the beam tool right here. Here's my beam tool. And then up here I can do the same sort of as walls and stuff. I can define the height of the beam, which I'm going to set it at 1 foot. And I'm going to place the height of the top of the beam. So it's going to top of the beam to the floor. Top of the beam to the floor is going to be 9 foot 1 1/8 inch. And it's going to be 5.5 inches wide. That's how that beam is going to go. And then I'm going to draw it in here. And it's going to be, it's going to draw from the center line of the beam. So I'm going to draw from the center line of this line right here. And go all the way over to there, which it should be a little bit off there. And then all the way to there like that. Then I'm going to drag a copy, and the other one's going to be right there. But that other beam stops, right? It stops somewhere in here. I'm going to presume that it stops right here. So obviously we have one wall that goes underneath. We have a couple of walls that go underneath the beam, so we have to go in and select those walls. So if you click on the wall tool and then hold down the shift key, then you can select those two walls. And those two walls will have to set the top of that wall to 8 1 1/8 because the beam is 1 foot high, right? So they go underneath that wall. So that's those two beams. Now I need to adjust my stairs. So my stairs, I'm going to select both of these guys. And I'm going to drag them down, first down to about there, about like that. I'm not quite sure where these come in, and he's not really giving me much, but I'm going to presume that this is about a 3 foot opening. It might be a little wider than that. Let's call it 3 foot 2. So I'm just going to go like this and go 3, 2. And then I'm going to presume that since this is a beam line, use my wall tool on, that this wall cuts from here to here. And since I drew that line through, what I can do is just do this. So I deselected the wall, held down the control key, and it brings up that scissors. And when the scissors fills up, that means there's something there I can cut. Like, and then that goes away. You can also stretch the wall if it's easier for you. You can do, you could stretch the wall over to here, drag a copy of it, put the other copy there, stretch that wall back to there, and that gives you the same basic deal. So I've got a bit of an issue now. So now it looks like this stair comes to here. I got a bit of an issue with the stair, right? It's too narrow. So what I can do is with the stair selected, go to Edit Stair, and then I can change this to be whatever it is in the plan, which is 3 foot 6, right? So let's call that 3 6. And there's that. The other thing is, I'm not sure this goes all the way up to the second floor. It looks like it says 9 10 1/4, but that's going down, right? So up goes 10 5 7/8. That sounds right. So but I want to make sure I select this and make that 3 6 as well. And then it looks like there's one tread that comes past, so I'm going to drag from this point to that point to where that wall is, like that, just like that. And then I've got the hole in the slab in the wrong spot, so I'm going to select the slab, and you see